What took centuries to bury beneath Jordan's most famous monument was revealed in a single day, and it changes everything we thought we knew about the Nabataeans. Stone does not forget, but it does keep secrets. For 2,000 years, the city of Petra has been a ghost story whispered by the desert. To the Romans, it was a prize. To the Bedouin, it was a fortress. And to the modern world, it was a movie set. In 1989, Hollywood told us that the Holy Grail rested here inside the Treasury. They told us it was a temple of tests, guarding the cup of Christ. We laughed it off as fiction. We told ourselves we knew the truth, that the treasury was just a facade, a beautiful, hollow shell with nothing behind it but solid rock and a shallow, empty room. We were wrong. Late in 2024, the ground finally spoke. A team of geophysicists, armed with radar that sees through the earth like glass, did what no one had done before. They didn't look at the monument, they looked beneath it. The radar pinged back a void, a chamber deep in the bedrock, sealed for 2 millennia. When they broke the seal, they didn't find gold. They found 12 skeletons. They found iron. They found bronze. And in the skeletal hand of one of the dead, they found a ceramic cup. A humble, broken vessel that looked terrifyingly, impossibly like the Grail itself. But these bones do not belong to knights. They belong to the masters of the desert. And their story is not about magic. It is about a betrayal that erased an empire. To understand the bodies beneath the floor, you must understand the city that buried them. 2,000 years ago, Petra was not a ruin. It was the Manhattan of the desert. While Rome was building with brick, the Nabataeans were carving palaces out of living mountains. They were the ghosts of the sand, nomads who knew where the water was hidden in a land that wanted to kill them. They held the world's most valuable commodity, frankincense. In Rome, they burned it by the ton to hide the stench of the dead. In Judea, they burned it to please God. And to get it, everyone had to pay the Nabataean tax. This wealth built the treasury. It was likely commissioned by King Aratus IV. He wasn't just a king, he was a tycoon. Under his rule, Petra's population swelled to 20,000. They had swimming pools in the middle of a drought. They had lush gardens in a wasteland. They built this monument upside down. Think of the audacity of that. Suspended on ropes, hanging over a sheer drop, masons carved the capital instantly into the rock face. One mistake, one crack in the sandstone, and the entire cliff would collapse. It was a flex, a message to Rome, to Judea, to Egypt, saying, "We can tame the earth itself." But wealth breeds envy. Just across the Jordan River, the Herodians were watching. To the west, the Roman legions were marching. Aratus played a dangerous game. He crushed Herod's forces in battle, the last great victory of the Nabataean kings. But by humiliating Rome's client king, Aratus had caught the eye of the emperor. The clock began to tick. Empires rarely die with a bang. They die with a whisper. After Aratus, the power waned. Rome didn't need to burn Petra. They just needed to bankrupt it. They opened new trade routes. They shifted the flow of spice. The gold stopped flowing. In 106 AD, the Emperor Trajan formally annexed the kingdom. There was no siege of Petra, no 300 Spartans moment. The last Nabataean king likely struck a deal. Let me rule until I die, and you can have it all. It was a sale, a liquidation. Which brings us back to the skeletons beneath the treasury. Carbon dating places them right in this transition zone, the mid-1st century BC to the early 2nd century AD. Are these the family members of Aratus, or are they the last elite holdouts, buried in a rush as Roman boots marched down the gorge? The irony is suffocating. In the movie, the Grail grants eternal life. In reality, the person holding this cup died as their world was ending. They were sealed beneath the floor of their greatest monument, protected by millions of tons of rock, while above them, their language vanished, their religion was outlawed, and their city was forgotten. Then came the earthquake of 363 AD. It shattered Petra's water system. The swimming pools cracked. The gardens died. The Bedouin moved into the tombs, and the silence fell. For centuries, we looked at the treasury and saw a bank. Then we saw a movie set. We were obsessed with the facade, the surface. But archaeology is the cure for vanity. The discovery of 2024 reminds us that Petra was not a set piece. It was a home to people who loved, fought, traded, and died. 12 people lay in the dark for 2,000 years, waiting for us to stop looking at the walls and start looking for them. The treasury does not guard gold. It guards the only thing that actually matters in history, the truth that we were here.